Hello everyone, it's me again, Nick. Now I wasn't really expecting to do another video this soon since the last one, but if you watched the video a few days ago, it was entitled semi-retirement because I've got a job starting on, well, this Monday really. My time's going to be dramatically reduced. Now, although this channel has increased in size gradually since its inception, in terms of the whole thing of YouTube, I still regard it as pretty tiny. So I was quite impressed, or blown away in fact, by the huge response from that video a few days ago, because, well, it was far greater than I was actually expecting. If you haven't watched that one, essentially it was me saying I'm going to cut down on the videos. You notice that the production line has grown to a bit of a halt since that point. Now, the idea was, I'm doing a lot more travelling now for this new job. I want to give it everything I've got, and I just thought I wouldn't have enough energy to be able to produce the videos, put enough energy into it, because I didn't want to get to that stage where I'm doing stuff where essentially I'm just dialing it in, and you can tell I'm just putting it out for the sake of content, because the videos take a bit of a while to do. There's a bit of production value, syncing the sound, getting the sound levels right, researching it in the first place. Although it might seem a bit of a mess, there is some planning behind this, storyboarding and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, who'd have thought it? And also as well, sometimes when there's long editing times, I will edit those down too. Now, so the idea was to scale down completely, maybe do one video a month or less often. Now, because of the huge response positively to that video, I've been trying to think how I can rework this, because, you know, I've been absolutely amazed. So thank you to everyone that's commented on that video, and it's just made me think that the channel was a lot more popular than I originally thought. So what we're going to attempt to do, we're going to do a bit of a trial basis. I'm going to try and put up one video a week. It'll probably be on Saturday, and occasionally, every so often, there might be a vlog a bit like this midweek, something like that. So we're going to have a go at that. Now, my main worry, hopefully I'll be okay, is I always found the production of YouTube videos, game videos, pretty addictive. That's why it got to a point where there's one going up every day. Sometimes there's two going out a day, which is a huge amount of input for anyone to, or output for anyone to put through. My main concern is I won't be able to stick to one video, and then it's going to have a knock-on effect to my job and so forth. So I'm going to have to be really strict with it. I'm sure there'll be times where I'll put up one video and I'll be itching to get another one out, but I know I can't do that because it's going to knacker me mentally and everything's going to fall apart. But anyway, what we're going to do, thank you for that huge response again, we're going to try and do one video a week. There'll probably be a video going up Saturday. Having said that though, no, let's keep to one. I was already thinking about trying to do two. No, let's cut it. Right, it's going to be one a week, and then we'll review it. Let's keep things ticking over, because I want to touch base with you guys, because quite frankly, as you probably already know, you are absolutely brilliant. Right, okay, so let's use this moment. We'll do a bit of a 2-week roundup as well, because although it's cut down the last week, there have been games reviewed the other time. We have got 6, because normally we do a top 6, so it isn't a normal 2-week roundup. There's no background and no frills and spills and stuff, but we'll still show you a bit of footage if I can. So okay, now some of these games would never have made the top 6 normally if there was volume there, because there's been a couple of awful games in this time round. But anyway, let's go. Number 6 was EastEnders on the ZX Spectrum, published by Maxon Software in 1987. Now, it's based on the soap from the UK called EastEnders that started in the 80s, I believe. And this game's got no bearing to EastEnders, the program, at all, as far as I'm concerned. You control this guy that goes into various buildings on Albert Square, which is where this is set in the East End of London, and there's lots of mini games, but the mini games are not fun. It's not obvious how to get out there, and you'll be screaming, pulling your hair out. This is probably, even including Jack and the Beast on the ZX Spectrum, this is most probably the worst game I've ever had to look at or review. It's absolutely abysmal. The theme music to EastEnders is Anyone Can Fall in Love, and you can't fall in love with this game unless you're mentally insane. Okay, now in 5th place is another pig awful game. Probably the 2 worst Spectrum games I've ever reviewed in succession. It's just the way it worked out. This is a racing game. It's Grand Prix Driver by Britannia Software in 1983. Yeah, I'm lost for words already here. Gameplay is awful. You must drive around a track avoiding oil slicks if they ever turn up, I never found them, and other cars to get round a whole lap by either going left or right to go around the vehicles. Collision detection is something awful. If you stop your car, the car in front will stop as well, and so if you're too close you can't drive around them. So it's basically steer left or steer right to get round the cars. I never really got into the knack of this game, and yeah, if you want to play EastEnders and Grand Prix Drive for the rest of your life, well, good luck to you, but the loony asylum awaits, I would have thought. And in fourth place, on the ZX Spectrum again, is Mike Reed's Pop Quiz by Elite Systems in 1989, a game I already reviewed on the Commodore Amiga some way back, and it plays very similar to that. It's based, it's just a reskin really of a game that came out before by Elite Systems called Question of Sport. Both of these based on the TV series. Got a number of questions there. Take a few goes to go back before they start repeating, but it holds together. It's not overly exciting, but if you want a quiz show type game, then you can't go too far wrong with that. So in sixth place was EastEnders on the ZX Spectrum. That other computer I mentioned doesn't exist, by Maxon Software in 87. Fifth was Grand Prix Driver by Britannia Software in 83, and fourth Mike Reed's Pop Quiz by Elite Systems in 1989, all on the ZX Spectrum. So what does that leave the top three? They had a pretty easy run of it this time in terms of competition. In third place, on the Amiga, the only Amiga game we did this time round was Postman Pat by Alternative Software in 1989. Based on the kids' TV show, you control Postman Pat and his van going around Greendale and must deliver packages and do other odd jobs round the town. Grand Theft Auto 1? No, not quite like that. The music will drive you pretty mad as the game goes on, but a kids' game, I think they would have enjoyed it. You just drive around the town doing odd jobs really. A map would be really helpful from this. I've already reviewed this on the ZX Spectrum. It's a step up in graphics to that one, but it plays more or less the same. If you're a big Postman Pat fan, if you like dressing up as Postman Pat, or you're obsessed with Postman Pat, then this is the game for you. If you're not, well, maybe avoid it. That made third place. Okay. In second place, quality shooter, Astro Blaster on the ZX Spectrum by Quicksilver in 1983. In terms of classic shooters go, this is converted from the arcades. Plays quite well, as you would expect really from a shooter. Shoot waves of aliens, then go through meteor storms, then another wave of aliens, and just keep going and going and going. Quicksilver produces quite a few quality games in this era, the early 80s. It's from my favourite area of gaming, where lots of games were coming out and they had a really nice classic feel to it. It's all to do with age really, what you think your classic gaming is. If you're in your mid-20s, you might think the PlayStation 1 was the golden era, but it's basically, I think, when you're between the ages of about 6 and 11, that's the sort of era that you're always going to like the most, essentially. Let me know what you think about that. And in first place, a pinball game, I'm always a sucker for pinball, although we haven't reviewed too many over the last couple of weeks, is Micro Ball by Alternative Software, again in 1988. So they did Postman Pat, and the year before they did Micro Ball. Now, on the ZX Spectrum, controlling ball physics is always going to be a little bit tough, so, but how did Micro Ball do? Well, it did very, very well, actually. There was a pinball game we reviewed a little way back, and that was good too, like a double-sided table next to each other. Ball physics of this work out a bit different to that, but it's good. The speed is good. It's quite impressive. You're never going to be able to compare it to modern day games. Single table like a lot of these, but I was impressed with it and get quite a lot of play with that if you're into a pinball. So in third place was Postman Pat on the Commodore Amiga by Alternative Software in 89. Second place Astro Blaster by Quicksilver in 83. And in first place Micro Ball by Alternative Software in 1988. Okay, so as I said from before, we're going to try and go for one video a week. Hopefully my creation addiction doesn't actually get in the way and cause things to fall down, but we'll be very strict with it. It's a bit like if you had a recovering alcoholic in the pub and you said, can't you just have one drink? Well, that's not going to happen. They have to go completely cold turkey or it's over. Well, I was going to go cold turkey, but here we go. It's just one drink in the pub for me, and then I'm going home. Well, as I say, we'll see how it goes. Video should be up this weekend. I'm pleased in a way because I want to keep touch with you because you're a great lot, as the comments revealed. So, thank you very much. Until next time, so the weekend, take good care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.